Hi, welcome back to Mama 4 Boys. Tonight I'm making a spaghetti dinner with garlic bread, and it's very simple to make. I'm using Prego roasted garlic and herb spaghetti sauce that I'm going to put in the pan and get it simmering on low. I've got my water started with 10 cups of water and a little olive oil and some salt. I got 1 pound of ground beef on the stove on medium. I'm going to brown this up. I always chop the meat as I go the whole entire time so that it chops into little pieces instead of big chunks. And I put a little salt and pepper in this hamburger, in the meat, ground beef, as I'm browning it. So I'm going to finish browning this. I'll drain all the fat off of it, and we'll be back to get our sauce started and our spaghetti in the water, and then I'll show you how we're going to make the garlic bread. We'll be back. All right, I've got my spaghetti sauce open. I'm gonna put it in my little pan here, a small one, and I'm gonna add a little bit of water to my jar to rinse out the spaghetti sauce so I get all of it out, and I'll be right back. All right, if you add just about, I don't know, a couple ounces of water, you can get everything out of your jar so you don't waste any of it. Okay, I'm gonna stir that up. I'm gonna add my noodles into the water. I'm gonna have that on low for right this minute. I got it actually on medium. I'll get it on high shortly. I'm gonna get the beef drained and get it into the spaghetti sauce. We'll start on our garlic bread. We'll be back. Okay, I've got my spaghetti going. I got my sauce going. I'm gonna take my spoon. I've tilted my pan up at an angle, rested it on there just for a minute. And what happens is all the grease, fat drains out. So I'm gonna take my spoon, and I'm gonna take and I'm gonna spoon all that fat right into my spaghetti jar so I don't have to use anything else. I'll just cap this spaghetti jar up and throw it away when I'm done. So I'll get all this drained and get the meat in the spaghetti sauce and let it simmer. I also have my oven set to 350 on bake, and I'm going to cut in half my loaf of bread. And I'll show you how I do that and how I make the garlic bread, and we'll be back. Okay, I've got my spaghetti sauce with the meat in it now. My noodles are almost done. I break all my spaghetti noodles in half. I don't cook them full length. And so they're about ready. I cooked them about 8 minutes. And now I'm gonna go ahead and make the garlic bread, and we'll get it in the oven, and everything should come out at about the same time. We'll be back. Hi, welcome back. I've got my spaghetti sauce made, and it's simmering on low. I've got my noodles are almost ready. I break all my noodles in half because I don't like them to be full length. They just make me happier when they're broken in half. I know most people don't do that, but I do. So I'm gonna let this simmer for a minute. I'm gonna let the noodles finish cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and make my garlic bread, and I'll show you what that looks like. We'll be back. So I've got a loaf of bread. I'm gonna cut that long ways this way here. Turn it over. I'm gonna butter it up, season it with some garlic powder and maybe some chives, and I will get that on my pan and get it in the oven, and we'll start getting ready to plate up because it won't take very long for the bread to cook. We'll be right back. Okay, I've cut it in half like this, and I'm gonna butter it up and season it. I'll let you see it in a second. Okay, welcome back. I've got my bread cut and buttered, and I've got this just this garlic powder from Aldi's. I'm gonna sprinkle a light layer on there. I want more than just like a dash. I want to sprinkle a light layer on here. Kind of coat it with it, but not drown it in it. Just a little bit everywhere. Kind of changes the color of the bread a little bit there. You can see that. Okay, and then I'm gonna take just chives and sprinkle those on there just for color. That looks pretty nice. So I'm gonna get this in the oven at 350. We'll try it for, I don't know, 5 minutes, and we'll see what it comes out to. It might take like 10 or 12, but I'll let you know. We'll be back. Okay, I've got the bread in the oven. I decided to put it in for 10 minutes And so my sauce is about ready. When you make this kind of sauce, it's always very thick. So you want to, once you get it warm, you want to warm it low or slowly instead of quickly. Keep it on low as it's simmering, because this kind of sauce is very thick and it will splatter. It will get air bubbles in it that will, you'll hear it pop, and it'll be popping, and it will pop up like a foot. It'll go everywhere. The other thing is you always want to keep your handles to your pans turned backwards. If you're not standing here actually moving the pan around, because little ones, if you turn your back for a second, when they get to be Isaac's height, can reach the pot handle. And so you don't want any kind of accident like that. That would be absolutely horrific. My noodles are ready. I'm going to turn that off and let them sit in the hot water. I'm going to serve them right out of the hot water. I don't drain them and put them back in a pot so they can get all stuck together. I just strain them as I go, and it has always worked well for me. So I don't wind up with a big giant clump of gooey noodles. So anyway, we'll be back. All right, my garlic bread is just about done. I've got it pulled out of the oven after 10 minutes. I'm going to take some mozzarella cheese, and we'll put a very light layer of it on it so that the cheese can melt, but it won't just be puddling on the bread. I want a little bit on every bite, but I don't want the whole bag on one bite. Okay, it's harder to do with one hand, but that's all right. I don't mind. I don't mind hard things. There we go. So I've got my oven on broil right now. And I'm going to broil this for just like a couple of minutes, maybe not even that. I'm just going to keep my eye on it. Okay, that's going to go back in the oven. Remember, your pan's going to be hot that you just pulled out of the oven, so don't just grab it with your hands. We'll be back. Hi, welcome back to Mama 4 Boys. It's time for the taste test of the spaghetti and meat sauce and the garlic bread with cheese. So I put a little bit of chives on my spaghetti. Now, I don't care for my noodles to be really long because it makes it easier to spin them up when they're not. So I'm going to go ahead and have a bite of this, and look at this garlic bread. It's just amazing. It smells so good. Let's have a bite. Wow, that tastes so good. Every now and again, I just get a craving for this spaghetti that I make like this. Bread's nice and crunchy, but not burnt or anything. Very nice. I like to taste everything together, so I don't eat all of one thing and then all of another thing. I like to put all the bites together and taste all the flavors at one time. I know some people might think that's weird. I have friends that would never do that. So, but I do. I always have, always will. So anyway, I'm gonna have one more bite because it's so good. And then we gotta, everybody wants spaghetti, so. Wow. Just the right amount of butter and garlic on this. So please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends and even people that aren't your friends about Mama 4 Boys. Tell them about this spaghetti. And please come back and see us. Until the next time we see each other, have a great rest of your night. And God bless.